Welcome to EGO NetCast. I am Martin Lindeskog. This is episode 121, and I've had a pretty long break from my regular scheduling. So this is since January, since the last or latest episode, 120, when I was saying about what's going on in the world. I did recently a Instagram photo where I said, "Gone fishing after celebrating Independence Day. It's time for a summer break, ? Which is your favorite soft fruit?" And I had a picture of a lingonberry juice powder with water, a Scandinavian brand called Wild in Scandinavia, that I purchased from a brand called Hemp. And that's what's going on here, and I want to tell about future plans and some highlights from time that have passed here, and future plans that I wrote in the Instagram post also, with upcoming memberships and tiers and perks there. At coffee, as you know, I'm a tea drinker, but coffee is spelled Kofi, and there you could donate similar to Patreon on a regular basis and one time. And now I have created a membership service or tiers with different perks. So I'm planning to roll out that after my break, after I have been fishing, to joke. So what have happened since episode 120 in January? Highlights here. International Podcast Day, podcast showcase in March. I did that, got the opportunity thanks to Dave Lee to create an episode that we called a live streaming called Inspirational Podcasting, together with co-host Carin Bladh of the podcast Viktigt på riktigt in Swedish. What's really important if you translate it to English. So please watch that live streaming YouTube, and I got permission from Dave to also repurpose this for an audio episode, so that I will do in the future here on EGO NetCast and on Tea Party Media. And then my co-host Bladh of a Secular Foxhole, we had the opportunity, we got an invitation from Aaron Briley, that we had guest on our podcast, The Secular Foxhole, to come on his podcast called Culture and Causation. And that was in June. And we talked about racism in the United States and in Sweden. So that's another highlight. And right now I have published the trailer episode of a new podcast called High Five for Hemp. So High Five for Hemp podcast. And this, now I really got pushed to do this. I planned to do that on 4/20 and also on National Hemp Day. And that was around the time, and also with the International Day, I think. So I had a meeting here with a person, and he pushed me to get accountable in doing this. And I see a potential with this podcast. To joke, you can't have too many podcasts. I'm probably involved in 20 plus podcasts at the moment, as a co-host, as solo show, also as for clients, pro bono, for profit, in different ways here. So like editing, like a new media advisor, producing it, market it, etc. And you could find a list there on egonetcast.com/about. There is the list of podcasts. Now, the first episode, the trailer and the teaser of why listening to High Five for Hemp. And it's my personal journey coming in contact with industrial hemp products. And as I wrote in January and posted that, and the link to another episode there, but I was thinking about my balance and so on, and also my overall well-being and health situation. I got curious and looked into what hemp could do for you. So that's why I wanted to start a podcast here. And also the situation here in Europe, and especially in Sweden, the debate and what's going on regarding legalization, laws and rules, regulations, red tape, bureaucracy, etc. I want to talk about that also, and then also see the possibilities and the business opportunities, etc. So I will link that also in the show notes, and that's hemp.captivate.fm. And when I registered this one, Apple Podcasts or Apple Podcasts, that was formerly iTunes, had now changed the settings, and also I will come back to that in a certain episode where on Tea Party Media, talking about this RSS and what that's standing for, Rich Site Summary and Really Simple Syndication. And that's the engine in the whole thing to get subscribed and get notified when it's a new episode. And now you had to put also how often you would schedule and publish. So I put on a monthly basis for Hemp, because that's the thing. The one that I'm a co-host with, that I have on a regular basis, like every 2 weeks, fortnightly basis, like Pen Meets Paper and Productivity plus T, and also Presentation Skills Q&A, and also in season is Viktigt på riktigt, what's important for real. There it's every 2 weeks with a co-host. And with my own solo show, it have been when I've had so-called time for it. So I will do that overall, that once a month I will be able to do a new episode. And then if I have more time or more things coming up, I could do it more often. Here on the Hemp thing, I'm thinking of talking about my personal journey, and then also invite guests, experts in the fields. And my goal is also to have a sidekick and co-host that will join me in the future. As I said, in the near future here, I will launch teaparty.media, and there I will do some episodes here of a start, talking about my services, what I could do, and that's coming to be a sponge, to be a diamond, and to be a digital essentialist. Things like that. So new media, the good life, including tea, and business philosophy. And also here on EGO NetCast, I'm planning to having a future guest spotlight on Biz Sugar members, and some solo episodes now and then, at least once per month, as I said, with some reflection. EGO NetCast, I will continue doing this because it's my first podcast. It's dear to my heart and my brain and my soul. But it's more like developed like a laboratory and test area also. And also ventilating things, what's going on in the podosphere, and my thoughts about that. That's it for now, I think. I will come back also here with an episode on updating my site, egonetcast.com, and also how to do some consolidation, you could call it, with hosting and so on. Because right now it's in a situation that I have to think this over with all the costs that is derived from podcasting. I see the opportunity with it also. But I also, as I have on coffee, I have put publicly what I pay every month, and that's about $150 for doing podcasting. So if you value my work here as a podcaster, as a blogger, as a social media evangelist and a new media advisor, you're welcome to send a donation. Thank you note, hat tip to my PayPal account, paypal.me/Lindeskog, and Lindeskog is my surname, my last name. So thanks for your support, and talk to you soon again. Cheers.